When it comes to detailing your car, there are certain areas that are going to be a lot easier for you to miss as you're working, and I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of those so that you can know what to look for and where to pay attention when you're detailing your car. So let's get to it. When it comes to your doors, one area that's super easy to miss is super deep within these. Having trouble knowing what it's called. Little cubbies in your door. These are super easy to miss. Not like you're gonna miss it, but it's super easy to miss dirt within it. So getting it really clean, like in here, deep in there, is gonna be very hard most of the time because you can't really get many tools in there, and usually you can only really get your hand in. So the best thing you can do if you want to hit this well is to get usually a microfiber towel and just try and work and pick up as much of that dirt out of there as you can. And maybe if you can also try and vacuum a little bit too. If you do miss this, it's going to be something that people don't really notice anyways, so you're generally safe if you do miss it. But if you want to get that 100% clean, make sure you get these little door cubbies. Another area that's super easy to miss is the top of the another area that's super easy to miss is the top of the windows. Bro. Another area that's super easy to miss is the top of the windows. This is something you can kind of see. It gets covered by, some of the window stripping. Dude, I don't know these terminologies. It's killing me. So there's like weatherproofing that seals the window so water doesn't come in when it's up, and that can kind of mask some of the window that you might want to clean or not. So, when you're done doing a detail, you can slide the window down to kind of just clean up that edge there, and so if the customer does put their windows down, it'll look clean still. There is a little bit of an issue with that, is if you're doing exterior work, the car's going to remain wet for a while. So if you do roll down the windows and roll them back up, there's going to be water that then gets clinged on. There's going to be water. I'm having a hard time talking today. There's going to be water that basically comes up with the window, and if you have to basically dry it off, because if you don't, it'll water spot. So if you want to be a little, extra on your detail, you can always just get the tops of these windows and then, roll them back up and clean the rest of the window. Pretty simple little tip there. Another area that's really easy to miss is the back of your seats and things like that. Especially in the trunk area, it's super easy to miss these because usually they aren't going to be that dirty unless someone uses their trunk a ton. Honestly, most of the time I won't worry about doing the backs of seats because usually they're going to be too much time and they won't yield that great of a result anyways. Sure, they'll be clean, but they're not going to be that much more clean. So generally, when it comes to doing seat backings, that's something you're probably going to miss. Usually it's okay, but if you want to go the extra mile, that's another thing you can hit. Just seal it up. You might be like, what the heck is that? That, my friends, is the back windshield. On certain cars, the back windshield is a pain in the butt to try and access. And you can see if I do it, it's like very difficult compared to the front windshield. It's even usually more annoying. There'll be some times where you'll see a back windshield and it's basically impossible to get unless you take the seats out. So that's another thing that you're probably just going to avoid for the most part, is doing those back windshields, unless it's on like a trunk that you can open easily. On sedans and coupes, they're usually very difficult to access. And so when it comes to doing the back windshield, that's probably going to be something you're going to miss unless the car is big. If it's a big car like a truck, then, or like a SUV or a truck, you're probably going to be able to get it. But for something like my car and some coupes and other things that I've seen, they're not going to be so lucky on that one, chief. Bucket army out. Bada bing, bada boom. So another area I usually miss, and this one's usually on purpose, it's actually in my service agreement, is doing the glove box. Usually the glove box is going to have a lot of stuff that, the customer won't take out anyways, and so you don't want to have to deal with that because you don't want to actually throw away stuff that they want to keep and vice versa. So generally, the glove box is something I don't clean, but you can always go the extra mile, take care of it. Usually, either they're going to be basically empty like mine is, or they're going to have a bunch of junk in it like some other people. So this is something I usually skip. but, or I guess you'd say miss, it's certainly something you can take care of. Another thing I got here is seat tracks. I don't know if you guys can see me, but these little tracks that usually the seats can slide up and down on, you can try and clean them, but generally you aren't going to have tools and chemicals specifically for cleaning the tracks, and therefore the best you can really do is to just brush them off usually after maybe throwing down some carpet cleaner or something. And carpet cleaner isn't really going to clean these all too well. So, you know, usually seat tracks are going to be something you miss for the most part, other than vacuuming or brushing real fast. There's not going to be any really thought out or well-deserved cleaning just for the seat rails. And, well, honestly, you know, I've never really cleaned these, and they're pretty clean while everything else has got a bunch of dirt and debris on it. Another area you're probably passing up on is right behind the mirror, and any area around it really. You know, let me tell you, who the heck is getting that dirty anyways? It's like you might as well skip this, right? So, I mean, sometimes you miss stuff, and it's just because it doesn't matter. It's not gonna make anything better or worse if I miss it or if I don't do it. You see right back there? That's something you also might forget, is deep within these door jambs, there's certain plastics and things that just are gonna be really difficult to take care of and clean well. If I take you guys up a little bit, you can see, you know, even on the door itself, this might be something you just missed too, is this weather stripping and getting that really clean on the door and getting it also clean on the car. Getting both of those clean is usually a little challenging. Is taking care of the sunroof, especially under it in these kinds of areas that fold up and stuff. It's usually something you're not going to worry about as a detailer, although you can get it and it will get dirty. You know, usually people aren't going to notice it because when the sunroof is open, they're going to be in their car. You see dirt along all these weather stripping and all this crap, and that's just something that won't really have to be too worrisome for you as a detailer, and you might only really clean the outside of the windshield or the sun's. Jeez. You might really only clean the outside of the sunroof, and maybe you do the inside too while you're inside the car. But usually these things aren't going to be that dirty on the inside and just the outside. So you're going to miss the, you know, the cracked areas like around the sun's. Dude, why can't I think of it? The moonroof, the sunroof, and you're also going to miss probably the inside of it. So those are just a couple of little areas you might also want to get if you want to be The last area you're going to miss is probably going to be these wheel well walls. Usually when I'm doing wheels, I'll just do the actual wheel, the rim, and all of that stuff. But I don't get the wheel wells just because for my car specifically, I need a very small brush to get in there, and it's not worth the squeeze. That's something you can miss really easily as a detailer, and it usually doesn't matter too much if the wheel wells are super clean or not, but maybe some people care about it more than others. I personally kind of just about it. But if you want to go that extra mile, getting those wheel wells is going to be getting your car looking real good, real quick. I'll have to maybe look at getting a smaller brush for them one of these days. But for now, I'm all right. Woo! All right, One Bucket Army. That was quite a lot to take in. Not really, actually. It was probably pretty simple. But those are a lot of spots that I've noticed I've forgotten or missed as I've detailed through the year or whatever. I don't know how long I've been doing this anymore. But that's what I noticed I've missed the most. And so I'm hoping to kind of spread awareness. That's been rough. I'm just not used to talking anymore. I've been straight up just working on my computer like 4 or 5 days in a row. Just trying to get so much done. I haven't like talked at all. So now I'm trying to talk, so that's the product of this video right here. So you can see there's a lot of spots to miss though, and I want to spread awareness for the Bucket Army, the One Bucket Army, should I say. One Bucket Army. We'll never miss a spot detailing again, unless it's the mirror area. No one cares about that. Okay, but yeah, you know, let me know in the comments if there's any spots that you guys often miss that, you know, you think I missed in this video actually, and that would mean I also missed a spot. Yeah, just throw it in there if you got any. If you don't and you're like a beast or whatever, then that's fine, but not all of us are. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. One Bucket Army, out. I love you guys.